Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pronix Voice podcast. This is Calix here, and I'm really excited about today's episode because it feels personal, real, and honestly, a little emotional too.
Hi everyone, this is Luna. And yes, I can feel it already. Today's topic hits deep. We're not just talking about English or habits or goals, we're talking about life, real life. And the topic is, it's time to change your life.
Yeah. You know, Luna, sometimes I think people hear that sentence and they feel inspired for about 5 seconds and then scared for 5 years.
That is so true. The idea of changing your life sounds exciting when you watch a video or listen to a podcast, but when it's time to actually do something, suddenly your brain says, oh wait, let's stay comfortable.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted today's episode to feel like a real conversation, like two people sitting together, maybe in a cafe, maybe in an airport, just talking honestly about life, travel, fear, growth, and those moments when you realize something has to change.
I love that you mentioned an airport. Travel always does that to me. Whenever I travel, especially alone, I start thinking about my life. Where am I going? Not just the destination, but my direction.
Oh, yes. Airports are dangerous places for overthinking. You're sitting there with your bag, watching people go in different directions, and you think, everyone is going somewhere. Am I?
And travel teaches you something very important about life. You don't need to know everything before you start. You just need a ticket, one step, and the courage to move.
That's powerful. And honestly, that's exactly how life change works too. People think they need a full plan, full confidence, full motivation. But when you travel, you never have full control. Flights get delayed, plans change, you get lost, and still you grow.
Yes, and that's where so many people get stuck in life. They say, I'll start when everything is clear. I'll change when I feel ready. But that moment almost never comes.
Yeah. I remember a time in my life when I felt completely stuck. Same routine, same thoughts, same excuses. And one day, while planning a small trip, I realized something. I was more willing to be uncomfortable in a new city than uncomfortable in my own life.
Oh, wow, that hits. Because when we travel, we accept discomfort, new language, new food, new people, but in daily life, we avoid even small changes.
Exactly. And that's why today's message is simple but serious. If you're listening right now and you feel that quiet voice inside saying, something needs to change, this episode is for you.
Yes, and let's be honest with our listeners. Change is not always glamorous. It's not always Instagram worthy. Sometimes change looks like waking up early when you don't want to. Sometimes it looks like practicing English even when you feel stupid.
Yes, especially that. Feeling stupid is part of growth. If you never feel awkward, you're probably not growing.
True, and you know, on Pronix Voice, many listeners are English learners, and learning English itself is a perfect example of life change. At first, it feels overwhelming. New words, new sounds, fear of mistakes.
And then slowly, something shifts. One day you understand a sentence without translating. One day you speak without fear. And you realize, wow, I changed.
But here's the thing. That change didn't happen in one day. It happened through small, boring, repetitive actions.
Yes, and that's where many people give up. They want a big moment, a big motivation wave. But real change is quiet. It's daily.
Let's talk about why people don't change their lives even when they want to, because wanting is not enough.
First reason, fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of wasting time, fear of choosing the wrong path.
And fear sounds logical. Your brain says, what if this doesn't work? What if people laugh? What if I fail?
But here's a question I always ask myself. What if you don't change? What if you stay exactly where you are for the next 5 years?
Oh, that question is uncomfortable, but necessary, because not changing is also a decision.
Exactly. Second reason people feel stuck is lack of direction. They know they're unhappy, but they don't know what they want instead.
And that's okay. You don't need a full map. When you travel, sometimes you just start walking and discover places you didn't plan.
Yes, life works the same way. Action creates clarity, not the other way around.
Another big reason is negative self-talk, that inner voice that says, I'm not good enough, I'm too late, I'm bad at languages, I always fail.
Oh, yes, that voice is loud, and if you listen to it long enough, it becomes your reality.
But that voice is not the truth. It's just a habit, and habits can be changed.
Which brings us to something very important: small changes. People underestimate them so much.
Yes, everyone wants a life transformation, but no one wants to do daily transformation.
So true. Improving your life by 1% a day sounds boring, but over time, it changes everything.
Just like travel again, one step doesn't take you far, but thousands of steps take you across countries.
I love how travel keeps coming back into this conversation because travel is proof that movement matters.
And movement creates confidence, not thinking, not waiting, doing.
That reminds me of when I first started speaking English confidently. I was terrible. I made mistakes every sentence.
Same here. And you know what? People still understood us. The world didn't end.
Exactly. And every mistake was like a stamp on my passport, proof that I went somewhere.
Oh, that's a beautiful metaphor. Mistakes as passport stamps. I love that.
Thank you. And listeners, if you're laughing or smiling right now, that's good. It means you're connecting.
And connection is important because change feels lonely sometimes. You feel like no one understands what you're going through.
But you're not alone. So many people listening to Pronix Voice are on the same journey.
And that's why environment matters. Who you listen to, what you watch, what you tell yourself every day.
If you surround yourself with negativity, your life shrinks. If you surround yourself with growth, your life expands.
Just like travel again, when you see different cultures, different ways of living, your mind opens.
Yes, and you realize there are many ways to live a good life. You don't have to copy anyone.
So let's talk about mindset for a moment, because change starts there.
Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. One says, I can learn. The other says, this is just who I am.
And the truth is, your brain is flexible. It changes with what you practice.
That's why affirmations, visualization, and gratitude work, not magic, science.
When you say, I'm improving every day, your brain starts looking for proof.
When you visualize success, your brain feels it before it happens.
And when you practice gratitude, even during struggle, you train your brain to see possibilities.
But let's be honest again, mindset alone is not enough. You need action.
Yes, imperfect action, messy action, awkward action.
Done is better than perfect, always.
Waiting for the perfect moment is the biggest lie we tell ourselves.
There is no perfect moment, there is only now.
So if someone listening is thinking about changing their life, where should they start?
Start small, very small, something so easy you can't say no.
Like 5 minutes of English practice, or a short walk, or writing one goal.
Or even just admitting to yourself, I want more from life.
That honesty is powerful.
And you know, change doesn't mean becoming someone else. It means becoming more of who you already are.
Wow, that's important. You're not broken, you're just unfinished.
Yes, life is a journey, not a destination.
Just like travel.
Always travel, always life, always learning.
So as we slowly come to a pause here, I want our listeners to sit with one question.
What is one small change you can make today?
Not tomorrow, not next month, today.
And remember, change doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be consistent.
All right, if you're still listening, first of all, respect. That already tells me something about you. You're someone who doesn't quit easily.
Yes, seriously. Staying till the end of a long conversation like this means you're willing to listen, reflect, and maybe even change. And that's beautiful.
In the first part, we talked a lot about why people feel stuck, how small changes matter, mindset, habits, and how travel teaches us about life. Now, I want to go deeper.
Deeper sounds good. Because real change doesn't happen on the surface. It happens inside, quietly, before anyone else notices.
Exactly. You know, Luna, when people say they want to change their life, what they usually mean is they want their circumstances to change. More money, better job, confidence, fluency in English, freedom to travel.
Yes, but what they often don't realize is that circumstances change only after identity changes.
Oh, that's a big one. Identity, who you believe you are.
Right. If you see yourself as someone who always gives up, you'll quit even good opportunities. If you see yourself as a learner, you'll keep going even when it's hard.
That's why habits are so powerful. Every small habit is a vote for the person you are becoming.
Like when you practice English daily, even for 5 minutes, you're not just learning words, you're becoming someone who shows up for themselves.
And that identity shift is huge because once you believe, I'm the kind of person who practices, who learns, who grows, your actions follow naturally.
Travel shows this too. The first time you travel alone, you're scared. But after that trip, you don't say, I traveled alone once. You say, I'm someone who can travel alone.
Yes, and then suddenly more things feel possible.
That's how life expands, not all at once, but step by step.
But let's be real again. Change is uncomfortable. Growth hurts sometimes.
Oh, yes, there are days when you want to go back to your old life because it was easier.
Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar growth.
Wow, that sentence says a lot.
And that's why many people self-sabotage. Just when things start improving, they stop.
Because improvement requires responsibility. You can't blame anyone anymore.
Exactly. When you decide to change your life, you take ownership. And that's scary, but also empowering.
Ownership means saying, this is my life, and I choose what I do with it.
And no one is coming to save you, but also no one is stopping you.
That realization can feel heavy at first, but then it feels freeing.
Let's talk about confidence for a moment. Many listeners want confidence, especially in speaking English or traveling or meeting new people.
And confidence is misunderstood. People think confidence comes before action.
But confidence is a result, not a requirement.
You don't wait to feel confident to speak. You speak, and confidence slowly grows.
Just like when you travel, you're nervous at first, but after asking for directions, ordering food, making mistakes, you feel stronger.
Confidence is built through experience, not thinking.
That's why overthinking kills growth.
Oh yes, overthinking is like being stuck at the airport forever, planning the perfect trip but never boarding the plane.
Yes, perfect example.
So if someone listening feels overwhelmed right now, what would you say to them?
I'd say breathe. You don't need to change everything today. You just need to move.
Movement heals confusion.
And direction becomes clearer after movement, not before.
Let's talk about comparison, because that's another big reason people feel stuck.
Oh, yes, comparing your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel.
Especially on social media, you see people traveling, speaking fluent English, living their best life, and you feel late.
But everyone has their own timeline.
And you don't see their struggles, their failures, their doubts.
Travel teaches this too. Someone might look confident in photos, but inside they're scared, lonely, figuring things out.
Growth is not linear, it's messy.
Some days you feel powerful, some days you feel lost. Both are part of the journey.
And feeling lost doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're exploring.
Wow, I like that.
So let's bring this back to practical life. What does changing your life actually look like on a normal day?
It looks boring sometimes, waking up tired and still choosing to practice, saying no to distractions.
It looks like choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort.
It looks like being kind to yourself when you mess up instead of quitting.
Self-compassion is so important. You can't hate yourself into a better life.
You have to support yourself into it.
And celebrating small wins matters.
Yes, understanding one sentence in English, finishing one podcast episode, saving a little money for travel.
These small wins build momentum.
Momentum is powerful. Once you have it, things feel easier.
And environment plays a role here again.
If you surround yourself with people who laugh at your goals, you'll shrink. If you surround yourself with people who grow, you'll rise.
Even if those people are voices in your ear, like podcasts, books, or communities.
That's why Pronix Voice exists, to be that positive voice.
To remind you that change is possible and you're not alone.
And that learning English is not just about language, it's about opening doors.
To new versions of yourself.
You know, Luna, when life were a journey, many people never leave their hometown mentally.
But when you learn, travel, and grow, your mind travels even if your body stays.
And once your mind expands, it never goes back to its old size.
That's the beauty of growth.
So if you're listening right now, maybe late at night, maybe alone, maybe thinking about your life, I want you to know something.
You're not late.
You're not broken.
You're just at the beginning of a new chapter.
And you don't have to have everything figured out.
Just take the next step.
One conversation, one habit, one decision.
Change doesn't announce itself loudly.
It starts quietly with a choice.
A choice to stop waiting.
A choice to start.
And if fear is there, that's okay. Take it with you.
Courage is not absence of fear, it's moving anyway.
Just like boarding a plane even when your heart is racing.
Yes.
So before we end, let's leave our listeners with something simple.
Ask yourself tonight, what kind of life do I want to be traveling toward?
And what is one small step I can take tomorrow?
Not a perfect step, a real one.
We believe in you.
Truly.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
Thank you for listening, reflecting, and growing with Pronix Voice. Subscribe our channel Pronix Voice to get more podcast videos.
If you like our videos, then just click the like button. It really motivates us to make more videos. And remember, change is not a destination, it's a journey.
A journey you are already on.
Take care of yourself.
Keep learning.
Keep moving.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.